Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the big debate. It's your boy Terence Agbo, and we continue our discussions on the ongoing African Cup of Nations taking place in Cameroon. So far, 36 games have been played, 68 goals scored, and as at now, 8 teams have been eliminated. 16 have progressed to the round of 16, and so today we'll be discussing we'll be doing a preview of the upcoming games, but mostly we'll also chat a little bit of the teams that have disappointed and have gone home. We'll also chat about the fixtures for tomorrow game, the round of 16 games taking place tomorrow. So 2 games will be taking place tomorrow. So with me on the studio is my boy Tru3Lion. Tru3Lion is always reliable and is here with us. Good evening, Tru3Lion, and welcome to the big debate.
Yeah, good evening, Dr. T. It's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. Some real good football is about to start.
Yeah, so far we've had, like I mentioned in the introduction, we've had 36 games have been played. We've had 68 goals scored. So at the beginning of the tournament, initially goals were difficult to come. Only one team scored more than a goal, and that was the host nation in the first round of fixtures. But eventually, as it went to the third game, the goals started coming.
Yes, because the third games, teams are trying to position themselves and open up the game because they're looking at qualification. So they're less defensive. They're gonna explore, and that's where you see more goals coming. It's gonna be the same moving onwards now because now everyone needs to qualify. It's like a knockout stage right now.
Yeah, it's a knockout. So overall, what is your impression of the tournament in terms of the footballing?
The footballing has been good. I've been very impressed with the smaller teams. So I think the decision to go 24 teams was actually is paying off because we've seen how African football has actually progressed.
And it gave the opportunities for some teams that may never have qualified to show that, of course, they didn't qualify not because they didn't know, but because sometimes to qualify can be very challenging.
Yes, and you see a team like Zimbabwe that went home. A lot of people said that they played the best football in their group, and unfortunately, they went home because they were not as realistic in front of goal. But again, I think it was a good decision. I think so far the tournament has been a great success.
Okay, I'm going to show you something, and then we'll chat. I'll ask you if your overall impression. So far, these are on the right, on the extreme right in white, are the teams that have been eliminated. So, what is your greatest, your biggest disappointment so far from this tournament?
So far, I'll say maybe Zimbabwe because Zimbabwe played one of the most beautiful football in that Group B, and but they went out. But the most disappointment is Ghana and Algeria. Algeria being the current champion,
the current holders, yes.
Exactly. And it was very tricky for them because they started very slow. They were not creative enough. Maybe because complacent. Maybe because the team is old. And then by the time they got to Ivory Coast in the last game, it was too late.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting because only a few months ago, Algeria actually won the Arab Cup. After winning the African Nations Cup 2 years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, they also won the Arab Cup. So you would have expected that they are the current champions and they should probably progress. But what I also learned is that I believe in 1990, when Algeria won the African Cup of Nations, they got eliminated in the first round in the following African Cup of Nations. So it seems as if there's a pattern here.
Yeah, I mean, that time, if I do remember, in the years of Rabah Maje,
exactly.
You had a young Raheem, who also very, very interesting player.
The famous number 7.
Exactly. But now, if you watch the team, you cannot win games on paper. You cannot come and just stroll into the African Nations Cup because you're playing against some weak teams and you expect to win. You have to prove it on the field.
And I think sometimes I'll probably say people just call something weak teams because they haven't heard of them before. But interestingly, all the teams that played, none of them proved to be weak. I mean, even the Comoros Islands and the Gambia, the 2 teams who are the first time to show up in the African Nations Cup, they actually progressed.
Yeah, of course. Ghana also was disappointing, not because they lost to Comoros, because I think that loss to Comoros was actually influenced by that red card, for me, that
Yes,
wasn't a
yeah.
red card.
It was a
Yeah,
21st minute red card, so it was
yeah.
early in the game. Yeah.
Yes, for me, that wasn't a record. But what happened before in their two games before, And sometimes, if you look at Ghana was having an old guard. I mean, their Yiwu brothers actually going and letting the young generation come in. So in such situations, you have to be very careful. And Ghana wasn't careful. Ghana did not take their opportunities. That's why they're out of the tournament.
Yeah, I would say they probably didn't take the opportunities because apart from the Ayew brothers, who are, I mean, like, they are not that old, but you still have some outstanding players like Thomas Partey and like Salisu, who played today. I mean, actually, he had a fantastic game today playing for Southampton.
Yes, I mean, football now is not all about big name players. You have to come with a strategy. The coach has to come with a strategy. That's why when I analyze the game, I'm not only looking at the players. I'm looking at what tactically, how is the coach putting those players in a position to win. And sometimes, the coaches ain't doing that. And that's the same critique I have for Senegal. Their coach is not actually putting them in the best position to showcase their talent.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the matchups, but in the dark box and in the Europe plane, those are the teams that have qualified. So Group A had 3 teams qualified, that's Cameroon, Burkina Faso, and Cape Verde. Group B had 2 teams qualified, 3 teams as well: Senegal, Guinea. Sorry, there's a comma missing there, and Malawi. Group C, 3 teams qualified. So Morocco, Gabon, Comoros. Nigeria and Egypt qualified in Group D. Ivory Coast and Equatorial Guinea qualified in Group E, and then Group F had 3 teams qualified. So which of those teams in that group, in the teams that progressed, impressed you so far, and which one surprised you as well?
Well, Nigeria as a team is a team, my number 1 team. They're yet to concede a goal. 3 victories after 3. Their football is impressive. I mean, the coordination, you can see the work of the coach. And that is a team that I said, they sacked their coach and they're bringing. So their coach has actually proven me wrong. Cameroon is another team that they are scoring goals, although I'm not that impressed with that team because defensively, I think they're having problems. In the midfield, I think they're having problems. But they're riding the waves on Abubakar, who so far is the highest goal scorer with 5 goals.
Yeah, so talking about Nigeria, and I mean, we'll go to Cameroon. Nigeria has impressed so far. I mean, it's quite surprising the way they are performing. Many have thought that, of course, they had a coach fired in December. The competition was starting in January. They hired a new coach who the only previous experience that I know, I may be wrong here, is that he used to be an assistant coach. So people and most of the pundits out there really didn't think Nigeria was going to do well.
I mean, the critics were actually valid because in football, that is a sign of disorganization. However, Nigeria is proving that they can actually play, and they have very, very exciting players like Simon. They have
Simon Moses,
in the midfield. They have so many good players, and the coach is now using the tactics. That's why I'm talking about tactics, because if you look at Nigeria man for man, you can also say that Ivory Coast has such good players. You can also say maybe Senegal has such good players. However, what's the difference? The coach, his tactics. That's the difference.
Okay, so Nigeria and Cameroon impressed you, but you have some reservations for Cameroon, and I believe every Cameroonian out there also have those reservations. So if they want to win this competition or if they want to progress, they really need to do some work at the back.
No, I don't think Cameroonians, fans will be fans. They think their team is the best, which is not. You have to sit behind your team. But when I have to analyze, how Cameroon plays, for me, some games, like look at the first game, Burkina Faso basically gave them 2 penalties that were not actually dangerous. So when you go against teams that will not give you those gifts, it's gonna be difficult. Cameroon has a problem in their defense, the way they align themselves tactically, and some players are not actually doing their job. So
some players are not well disciplined, and sometimes if a defender is not well disciplined, you need a midfielder to sometimes assist, but that is not happening for the Cameroon team so far.
Exactly, and luckily they will play the Comoros Islands, so that I think Cameroon will actually go through easily with that one.
Okay, I mean, like, I hope they go through easily, but I really don't believe in any team going easily this time around based on what I've observed so far. Okay, well, so let's move to...
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's move to...
I'm sorry about that. Go ahead. Up to tea.
Yeah, let's move to the mashup now. So, okay, yeah. So one more question on this slide, on that picture you are seeing there on your right is which team impressed, which is your biggest surprise?
Biggest surprise?
Yes, or those teams that have progressed to the round of 16.
The Comoros Islands. Comoros,
Okay.
of
So I
course.
would say I agree with you. I would say Comoros Island as well. The Gambia. These are two teams that this is the first time they are qualifying for this competition. So it's quite interesting that they
Yes,
progress. Like you said in the introduction, I think uh, uh moving from 16 to 24 teams have actually exposed more of African football and have shown the competitiveness of African football.
yeah, it's a good thing.
Okay, great. All right. So now let's move to the mashup. So now those teams qualify, progress to the round of 16. Tomorrow we are going to have the first game of the round of 16 and the first two games of the round of 16. So the first game is going to be between Burkina Faso and Gabon. Gabon will actually play in Limbe, so the game will be taking place in Limbe, and then the second game will be in Garoua. So Nigeria won the group, and so they will be staying in Garoua. So let's talk about the matchup. Tell me about what you think about the game between Burkina Faso and Gabon, and then I know you have a little bit more to talk about the tactics between the game between Nigeria and Burkina Faso. So just a little overview about the game between Burkina Faso and Gabon.
Yeah, Burkina Faso and Gabon in some interesting stats here. For the past 4 games, I think Burkina Faso is yet to beat Gabon. Their last game they played together in this competition, I think, was 2017 when they drew 1-1.
Okay.
And I think Burkina Faso, for me, I think without Bernard Traore, they will need to fight really hard because I think that's their talisman in the midfield or helping trying to switch their defense together with attack. It's gonna be a physical game. I expect nothing beautiful, but I think that Burkina Faso can actually it's gonna be tight. I think Burkina Faso can win this, but it's gonna be tight. I wouldn't be surprised either if Gabon wins, but I think it's a 60-40 for
Yeah,
Burkina Faso.
it's quite interesting that because like Gabon progressed despite the absence of two of their most astounding players, the players that people thought that okay, like their captain Aubameyang was eventually initially tested positive for COVID and then subsequently diagnosed with a cardiovascular condition and sent back to Arsenal. But what I'm hearing, I think you mentioned that to me is that he's probably gone back and joined the Gabonese camp.
No. He's in London and he says he's
He's in
doing.
London. Okay.
Yeah, his heart condition was just a scare. He's doing fine. But for this game, I just think Gabon maybe their best player left, and then they have something to prove, and they played some good football, good team football, and that's what got them through to the stage.
And Burkina Faso, they've also been like a very, very hard not to crack. They scored against Cameroon and eventually they won Cape Verde. And Cape Verde have been very, very impressive in this competition.
Yes, but their last game was very disappointing against Ethiopia.
Ethiopia.
They defended for the most part, and Ethiopia, if not of some good defending and maybe some shortcomings of Ethiopia would have actually won that game. So it's a give and take. I think Burkina Faso played their best game when they lost against Cameroon.
Okay, so between Gabon and Burkina Faso, you think Burkina Faso is going to progress? It's 60-40.
Exactly.
Okay, I also think Burkina Faso is going to progress for several reasons. One is my innate bias because they were in the same group with Cameroon and Cameroon topped the group. So I think the Cameroon group was a better group. So any team that played with Cameroon should progress. And then secondly, Aubameyang is not there, and that's going to decrease the chances of Gabon progressing, but you never know. I hope Burkina Faso progress so that our noisy neighbors in Gabon can respect themselves. So now let's talk about the what is supposed to be the biggest game of tomorrow. So that is a game between Nigeria and Tunisia, two African giants. Both teams have won the African Nations Cup before. So tell me the matchups and who you think is going to progress.
Off the bat, I think Nigeria is gonna progress. That's it's not even something I'll think hard about, and it's not because Nigeria won 3 games, has not yet conceded. It's just because of the style of Nigeria. Nigeria is gonna press Tunisia. Nigeria is gonna choke Tunisia. Nigeria is gonna outplay Tunisia physically. And you know, Tunisia is a team. When you play them physically, physical football, Tunisia is gonna shrink. And then
Yeah, they don't
Tunisia,
like. Yeah, they don't like physical football. I remember in 2000 when Cameroon won the competition in Nigeria. I think in the one of the knockout stages, Cameroon actually played against Tunisia, and their biggest complaint was that Cameroon was too physical.
yeah, I mean, their type of football and the way I've seen the team play in this Nations Cup, they have not been very convincing with the type of football that they do play. And Nigeria does that high press. Nigeria has players that can beat you individually. I'm talking about Simon, one of the most electrifying players. And then Nigeria is defending very good. So I expect Nigeria to win. To win this tie easily.
Yeah, I would say Nigeria as well, but I wouldn't be surprised. And Tunisia really didn't impress. I think if I'm not wrong, they probably, if I'm not mistaken, I think they lost one game, so they barely made it as well. It was quite difficult and challenging. We thought that okay, yeah, Tunisia was probably going to top their group, but that's not what happened. Even though they still have like some outstanding players who can score goals.
No, but it's gonna be. Given the teams that they played against, and the type of football that they did play, it was not actually convincing because now they're meeting a team that is better, and now it's win or go home. So they're gonna open up also to in order to try to look for goals in order to try to qualify. But Nigeria again, as I'm saying this, man, Nigeria has some players and they got the speed. They have some players that even one on one, on both on both sides, and they have it's a well-rounded team, and they will control when Nigeria controls that midfield and controls the wings. It's gonna be difficult for
Yeah,
Tunisia.
yeah, because they have is it Uche on the
They got
is that
Uche on the right hand side,
on
then
the
they have
right and
Simon on the
Simon
left.
on the left, and like and then of course they have Iheanacho in the center of the field who can score goals. He scored a very
Yeah,
excellent, outstanding goal in the first game with
yeah. As
Egypt.
much as he's wasteful, I think if Nigeria had a better striker, a striker that has a knack for goals, they will just be running teams down because Uche can be very, very wasteful as well. But the
Yeah.
most important player for me is Ndidi.
Yes.
When
Yeah.
Didi controls that midfield, it's difficult to beat Nigeria.
Yeah. He does all the coordination and controls, and like he works from the defense. He carries the ball from the defense and progresses to the attack. But Tunisia also have this gentleman. He's the captain, Kazri.
Kajri is only good. When you give him the ball and when he runs. But
Yes.
this is what's going to happen, right? When Nigeria is going to press Tunisia high, Tunisia is going to look for outlets to go long. And when you go long with Ajayi and all those big Nigerians,
And Ekong, who are very big men. Yeah.
they won't see the ball, man. Believe me. Just watch the game tomorrow.
So okay. So what is your prognostication? Nigeria is going to win by score.
At least 2-0.
Okay, 2-0. So 2-0. I think Nigeria is going to win.
At least 2-0. It could be 3-1. So that's
Yes, I think Nigeria is going to win. I'm going to go for 3-1. I'm always wrong. So, guys, if you are listening out there to the big debate and you hear that I have made a prognostication of 3-1, and if you are going to play a party foot tomorrow, don't take mine because it's most likely going to be wrong. But I know that Nigeria will be winning. Okay, there's one more thing I want us to talk about. So, when I was preparing for this show today, I found this on the CAF Twitter page. So this is what CAF has come up with as the team of the first round of the competition. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Is there any name which is there which shouldn't have been there, or is there any name you want to add which is not there?
Okay, I don't see Ndidi there.
So yeah, Ndidi is on the bench. So I'm very surprised as well. So but they played when Ndidi is playing, they have Bissouma.
Yeah, okay. Well, Bissouma is also a good player. Yeah, I think for Morocco, yeah, okay. What was that?
Hakimi and Buffal. And Buffal is a player we chatted.
Yeah, that goal
before
is
the competition. Yeah.
Yeah, that goal is scored. Okay, they
Yes.
have Moses Simon, they have Buffal. Okay, they have.
Then they have Barrow of Gambia. Barrow has been fantastic even in the Serie A where he plays, and also like he practically pushed Ghana, and he also scored a very fantastic goal in the group stages.
Yeah, I'll actually put even Carl Toko Ekambi in the place of Buffal.
Okay. All right, I think I'll probably agree with you. I'll have some reservations about the goalkeeper. I agree at the defense with Hagazi, but the goalkeeper, the Sierra Leone goalkeeper impressed me so much because he had so many shots against a team like Algeria. However, I mean, apart from the goalkeeping position and Bisuma Ndidi, I think I do agree with everything. So I
Yeah,
and
yeah,
yeah,
go ahead.
go
Let
ahead.
me say something about the Sierra Leone goalkeeper. Yes, he had some saves and all that, but tactically, I mean, technically, he's not that good of a goalkeeper. I will not even put him first five.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not how good he is, but how good he performs. So he performed like Egypt really didn't have those many shots. Okay, I agree against Nigeria. It was a very difficult game, but after that, you would assume that a side like Egypt, the goalkeeper shouldn't be making many saves.
No, but well, they actually defended well, even against Nigeria. You saw the saves he made. He actually kept Egypt in that game.
In that
So
game.
what I'm saying about the goalkeeper of Sierra Leone, you said Sierra Leone, right? If you look
Yes.
at him, like the corner kicks, the balls that are coming, he's going out recklessly. He's making mistakes. I mean, those are points. If I had to rate a goalkeeper, if I have to rate him, I wouldn't rate him that high. Even top five, he wouldn't be one of those goalkeepers.
Okay, great Tru3Lion. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were watching or if you are just joining us, you are watching the big debate. I'm here with my boy Tru3Lion. We've discussed the group stages, the team that progressed, and the matchup for the round of 16. We've also chatted extensively about the game that will be taking place tomorrow. So that's the game between Burkina Faso and Gabon in Limbe. Tru3Lion thinks Burkina Faso is going to win. It's a 60-40, but any of the teams could win. I also think Burkina Faso is going to win. And then also the game between Nigeria and Tunisia taking place in Garoua. In Garoua. I just hope Nigeria doesn't choke. They've impressed so far so much in the group stages, and we hope that they do progress so that the competition will be very, very competitive. And then on the screen, you just saw what CAF brought up as came up with as the team of the group stages. There is one more thing I want to ask you, Tru3Lion, before we move on. So you watched the game between we shouldn't be talking about this, but I just think it's something that you should talk, the game between Ivory Coast and Algeria. What impressed you most in that game? I think that was the other game of the competition that is worth talking about.
Yeah, I think what's his name, the midfielder for I think Pepe had a good game. Also, Casey had a good game.
Casey,
That
yeah. So that's the midfielder of AC Milan.
yeah, that first goal is scored. But for me, I wouldn't rate Ivory Coast higher even after that game, just because so many defensive errors, so many space from Algeria. But again, why can't I give them some credit if they actually won like 4-1? So,
Yeah.
but still, I don't rate them. If I have to call my top three teams, I won't put Ivory Coast in.
Okay, so you think okay, we won't be talking about that today. So tomorrow we'll probably for everyone watching out there, after the first group, the games of tomorrow, myself, someone else, and Tru3Lion will be here, and it will be a live show. If you have any question to ask, please do well to join us. I will post it online so that you know when we are starting. So it was a pleasure having you here today, Tru3Lion, and thank you very, very much for joining us. For everyone watching out there, it's a pleasure, and thank you for always being loyal to us. You have a good evening, Tru3Lion.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you for having me. And don't forget, tomorrow we'll be previewing the Cameroon game against Comoros and other games. So
Yes.
join
Yeah.
us live. If you have questions, I'll be ready to answer your questions.
Yeah, Tru3Lion will be here to answer all your questions tomorrow. I mean, like so far, initially he wasn't impressed about Cameroon. He's been progressing towards being impressed. So that is some evolution. So I'm very pleased for that. So Scott Nyambi, if you are watching, Tru3Lion is once more impressed about Cameroon. And for everyone out there, you have a good evening and see you tomorrow.